So I recently watched this show called Severance. And if you've never seen the show, basically what it is it's a whole bunch of people in this office space. But these people only know this office space. So the people on the outside that are them decided that they wanted to sever half of their brain basically and put it into this office for 8 hours a day. But the people in this office only know this. They have no recollection of any of their memories from outside. So at the end of the day, they go into the elevator and they're instantly back at work to start another day. So those people, that's all they know, but they start to realize that it sucks doing that over and over and over again. And the people on the outside, basically the reason that they chose to do this a lot of the times is because they wanted to shut their brain off for 8 hours a day because they have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of things that they want to forget about. So it comes to a head when the people in the freaking building, they get tired of it. They get sick of it. They don't like it. It feels purposeless having to do this constantly all the time. You know, a lot of us feel like that at work sometimes. But because they feel like that, they feel like there has to be something more. There has to be something to get me out of here. And then eventually there is this book. And it's a book from the outside. It's basically a personal development book. And it ends up getting into the facility. And it's not supposed to be there. But they find this book and they start reading it. And what this book kind of tells them is that there's more to life. You know, your boss and your company, they need you more than you need them. And you can't just let them continue to slave you out and continue to do that stuff. So that basically opens their mind. It starts to open their mind to a different perspective. Something that they couldn't have seen before because they knew nothing else. And when they start to open their mind, it basically allows them to start to plan out an escape route. They want to get out. They want to do something different. So they do that whole thing. I'm not going to spoil everything about it for you guys. If you want to watch the rest of it, y'all can watch the rest of it. But that's basically what it is. But that, you know, having that book in there, having that book get into there, kind of reminded me of my days at Walmart. You know, when I was working at Walmart, I freaking hated it. I didn't hate it completely, but there were some times where I really freaking hated it. Like I used to have to stand up at the front during the COVID days, and I had to stand up at the front with a shopping cart there, and I would have to hand out COVID masks. 8 hours a day, standing on my feet, just doing that. Not getting to talk to nobody besides the people that were coming in. That's it. And I hated that so much. I hated that because it's just standing on your feet. You're tired. You don't want to do that, man. It just feels like a waste of 8 hours. Just like the people inside, they're just wasting that time. But yeah, I really freaking hated that. Like, it was terrible. I hated that job so much at that time. During certain times, there's parts that I loved, but during certain times, I freaking hated it. And it wasn't until somebody had came and there was a guy there that I knew, and he started to introduce me to books, just like the freaking TV show. He started to introduce me to self-development books, and I started to read them, and they opened my mind. They started to show me different ways of thinking about this stuff. And it showed me that this isn't all that there is. I don't have to continue to do this for the rest of my life. I don't have to continue to slur out like this for the rest of my life. So because it opened my mind, it allowed me to start to think for myself, think about what I actually wanted. And then that's when I went on my journey to trying to do entrepreneurship, trying to do all that stuff, and trying to fail for myself instead of failing and just doing what I was expected to do because of this. So for a lot of us, we don't really know what we don't know. So what I want to just encourage you to do is to continue to consume things that are going to open up your mind. So this can be books, this can be TV shows, movies, this can be courses, this can be anything that you can learn online, any of this stuff. But it is so urgent that we have to open our mind to different perspectives. We got to look at speeches, we got to look at all that motivational stuff, because people are going to share their stories, people are going to share what they've learned, people are going to help us to understand the world a little bit better, to understand the mistakes that they made so that we can avoid them. And that's what a lot of those books did for me. They opened my mind and they helped me see something that I couldn't see at the time. And it gave me hope. It gave me an ability to start to chart my own path, to start to get out of that. So that movie or that TV show just reminded me of that. And it was just such a great thing to see because it just reminded me of those old days. And it reminded me that I'm so glad that somebody shared that with me. Somebody shared some books and somebody shared that knowledge with me. And I just wanted to repay the favor with you guys in case you don't read or you don't look at any stuff outside of your work or your life or anything like that. So I hope this helps you guys, and I hope that this starts to open up your mind even just a little bit. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day, week. Peace.